Okay, I already got the bolts out. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 for the actual fuel rails, and there was a very odd shaped one right here that holds this main rail right there. So once you get those bolts out, you just want to kind of pull up a little bit on the fuel rails. They should pop right out like that. Put my right hand on this one. If it doesn't come out, kind of be careful with them. Don't wrench too hard. They should pop right out. Just takes a little bit sometimes. And fuel rails out. So I'm gonna kind of hang that off to the side. I'm gonna grab a piece of wire in a second so that doesn't fall all around. So now that the fuel rail is out, I'm gonna tighten back in this bolt I loosened yesterday just to get it out of the way. But it looks like we have 2 bolts that need to come off here, and then down here we have 1 nut and then 2 probably 5mm Allens, and that should, oh, another nut here, and I'm guessing it's probably going to be the same way in the back. Allens, can't really see anything over there, but this will take out the lower manifold, and I'm going to get to work on that, and I'll be back in a minute. Real quick note on this: all the bolts I took out down there were all, or on the fuel rails, were all 10mm. I forgot to say that earlier. Most of the bolts on this car are 10mm. You'll get the random 12 and 14, but that's pretty much all I've run into so far is 10s, 12s, and 14s. 90% 10s. I said before that we would need to take this out. I took both the bolts out, and you don't actually need to take it out. It's connected to the lower manifold. It'll come out in one piece. I recommend not taking it out. It does have a lever in here. Don't want to mess that up, so just leave it in. Good thing about having to take out the lower manifold, this will also give us a chance to check out the flaps on the engine down there. So here we go. Okay, I got most of the bolts out. I saved 2 so I could show you the last 2. You have 6 of those with the 5mm, I believe it was, Allen head. Sorry, 6mm Allen head. And then you have 2 right here, 1 here, and 1 here, nuts. I can't feel anything on the other side yet. There might be. We'll find out when we try to pull it. But like I said, randomly they'll just throw in 12s. This and this are 12s. I'm going to loosen that end. I'm going to finish it off by hand. There's one, and I'm going to put you down to the second one, because I got the lower intake manifold off, and what I'm trying to take out is these 2. Got a intake side and an exhaust side oil intake valves. They're also called CVVT solenoids. The original code I was having was 340. That was for the camshaft positioning sensors, and once I changed most of those, I got rid of that code and came up with p0012 and p0024, I believe they were, and that was about the position of the intake and exhaust oil something or other. I don't remember the exact terminology that it said on the code, but anyways, that's beside the point. Everything I looked up online said these could be plugged. Most likely they are. Each one has 2 bolts. It is a 10mm, and just use a regular socket to get in there for those. And before I put all this back together, I'm going to get rid of all this gunk and oil and buildup that's on here, because that can't be good either. Always make sure when you are taking off your intake manifold that you're covering up your valve holes. I got them all kind of covered up, jammed full of cloth as it is right now, but I just wanted to make sure nothing can get in there while I'm doing all this, especially with all that gunk over there. You don't want that inside your engine. So I'm gonna take off those bolts and then show you once I got them out. Okay, I got both of the oil control valves out. For the sake of not getting anything in my engine, I immediately put some shop towel in there. Basically, these are the oil control valves. There's one for each side. There's a gray, that's black. They just both look black in this look. Gray and black. Gray is exhaust, black's intake. They pretty much filter the oil that goes through the block, and those go directly into the block. The one we changed yesterday, underneath the valve cover, filters it under there, actually inside, while everything's working and all the oil's flowing through there. So they might not be bad, they might be bad, I don't know. I'm just going to replace them with brand new ones. I already got them here or on the way. The second one should be here sometime this afternoon. Other than that, the job is just putting them back together. Before I get in there and start messing around, though, I'm going to bring my shop vac over here and vacuum up all this crud in here as much as I can get up, and maybe spray a little bit down and wipe off what I can. Just don't want to get anything in there when I put the new ones back in. Don't want to introduce crud to the engine, even though I probably already have, because I left the valve cover open for a little bit while I was messing with this, but I checked, I didn't see a whole lot of stuff in there. But I did label, these are the connectors for them. I labeled the exhaust side so I know which one goes in that one, and I didn't label this one. I have a label made, I just didn't put it on yet, but they're connected to each other, so I can pretty much deduce that if it's not the exhaust side, it's the intake side. Anyways, I'm gonna do that shop vac stuff real quick, and once I get that done, I'll put these back in. Okay, finally got everything cleaned up down in there, enough to where I can get in there and reinstall them. Cleaned up the surfaces around there as much as I could, so that I could put those in without the fear of getting a whole bunch of dirt and other crud in there. The second one arrived by Amazon a little bit ago, and I'm going to put those in a second. I just wanted to show you how I prep them before I put them in, and let's get on to that. Okay, if you made it this far and watched any of my videos so far, you've probably either gotten very annoyed by my breathing, or you have no care whatsoever. But I moved up here from a dry state. I moved up to the Pacific Northwest from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I moved up here. I'm allergic to everything, but that's besides the point. I just can't breathe well up here, so occasional heavy breaths, or the constant sniffing, or the sinus nasally tone of my voice, that's why. So on to the work. So got the engine oil that would go in this engine, and I got my oil control valve right there. If you have them, take a pipette, suck up a little oil if it wants to work. There we go. It is sucking up. I just got a very thin one, so it's not wanting to do it quickly. Come on. Don't really need a whole lot. I'm just doing it because I like it. So some squeezing back into the bottle. No, you don't really have to do that part. A lot does come back out. I just like to make sure I get it good and oily before I even attempt to put it back in. That way it's got a little heads up on its competition. clean off my gloves so that I can hold the phone. Now, I have back in here, and I'm only going to do one of these on camera because the other one's way too hard to do and hold the phone at the same time because I'm recording off a phone. If these videos pick up and I get enough subscribers going forward, I'll invest in a better camera thing, so camera setup that can be stationary, have me in the videos a little bit more, but I'm sure you guys don't care if I'm in the videos or not anyways. You just care about the wrenching. So I open that up, see it's nice and clean down there. I'm going to start it off inside that hole and make sure I got it at the right angle. It's a little bit of a hard push, and it's all the way in there, seated up against the wall really well, and really good with that. Take the flashlight and just double check around. Looks like I got to get it in a little bit more. Is this too short? Hold on. So, I'm going to end this video up real quick after a little bit of explanation. The one I was working on still has the shop towel in it. I did reinstall this one just so I could show you how it looks installed, because I can't install the other one. So, what happened is they sent me two of the same one instead of left and a right. Basically everything's on them the same except for one little difference. If you look at where the brackets are, this one has a very, very small area from the top. This one has a lot larger of a gap. So I have a choice to either return it and say it's not the right one, or I can see if I can get that bracket off and then move it up and either tack weld it or solder it on there, one of the two. Probably solder, because I think a welder will get too hot for this thing. Either way though, thank you for watching the video and have a great evening. Oh, and if you like these videos, be sure to like and subscribe. I don't know if people wanted me to keep on making videos on these, but I couldn't find anything, so I figured I'd help you guys out. Have a great day.